Welcome back to Dan Desi Level 1. Yeah, today I'm going to read to you one of my favorite parts of this book, The Richest Man in Babylon. I like this book. You guys should check this book out. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but you guys should check it out. So, I read it already, I just was reading it again, but I want to read to you my favorite part of the book. Make sure we're recording. Alright, I'm gonna read to you my favorite part of the book. Alright? It's one of my favorite parts. So, where is it? Hmm. Alright, hold up, I'm trying to find it. I think it's coming up. Alright, here we go, right here. So this is my favorite part of the book. Okay. Alright. I found I found employment as a scribe in the hall of records. In long hours each day I labored upon the clay tablets. Week after week and month after month I labored yet for my earnings. I had naught to show, food and clothing and penance to the gods, and other things of which I could remember not what, absorbed all my earnings. But my determination did not leave me, and one day Algamish, the moneylender, came to the house of the city master and ordered a copy of the ninth law. And he said to me, I must have this to I must have this in 2 days, and if the task is done by that time, 2 coppers will I give thee. So I labored hard, but the law was long, and when Algamish returned, the task was unfinished. He was angry, and I had been his slave, and had I been his slave, he would have beaten me. But knowing the city master would not permit him to injure me, I was unafraid. So I said to him, Algamish, you are a very rich man. Tell me how I may also become rich. And all night I will carve upon the clay, and when the sun rises, it shall be completed. He smiled at me and replied, you are a forward knave, but we will call it a bargain. All that night I carved through my back pain, and the smell of the wicked made my head ache until my eyes could barely hardly see. Until until my eyes could hardly see. But when he returned at sunup, the tablets were complete. Now I said, tell me what you promised. You have fulfilled your part of the bargain, my son. He's, you have fulfilled your part of the bargain, my son, he said to me kindly, and I am ready to fulfill mine. I will tell you these things you wish to know because I am becoming an old man, and an old tongue love to wag. And when it comes to youth come to age, and when youth comes to age for advice, he receives the vision of years. But too often does youth think that age knows only the wisdom of the days that are gone, and therefore profits not. But remember this: the sun that shines today is the sun that shone when thy father was born, and will still be shining when thy last grandchild shall pass into the darkness. The thoughts of youth, he continued, are bright things that shine forth like meteors, that oft make brilliant the sky. But the wisdom of age is like the fixed stars that shine so unchanged that the sailor may depend upon them to steer his course. Mark you well my words, for if you do not, you will fail to grasp the truth that I will tell you, and you will think that your night's work has been in vain. Then he looked at me shrewdly from under his shaggy brows, and said in a low, forceful tone, I found the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep. He said, I'm going to read that again because that was important. I found the road to wealth when I decided that a part of all I earned was mine to keep, and so will you. Then he continued to look at me with a glance that I can feel pierce me, but said no more. Is that all? I asked. That was sufficient to change the heart of a sheep herder into the heart of moneylender. Into the heart of moneylender, he replied. But all I earn is mine to keep, is it not? I demanded. Far from it, he replied. Do you not pay the garment maker? Do you not pay the sandal maker? Do you not pay for the things you eat? Can you live in Babylon without spending? What have you to show for your earnings of the past month? What for the past year, fool? You pay to everyone but yourself. You labor for others as well, be a slave and work for what your master gives you to eat and wear. If you did keep for yourself 1/10 of all you earn, how much would you have in 10 years? My knowledge of the numbers did not forsake me, and I answered, as much as I earn in 1 year. You speak but half the truth, he retorted. Every gold piece that you save is a slave to work for you. Every copper it earns is its child that also earns for you. If you would become wealthy, then what you save must earn, and its children must earn, and its children's children must earn. That all may help to give you the abundance you crave. You think I cheat for your long night's work? He continued, but I am paying you 1,000 times over if you have intelligence to grasp the truth I offer you. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. It should not be less than 1/10, no matter how little you earn. It, it can be as much more as you can afford. Pay yourself first. Do not buy from the clothes maker and the sandal maker more than you can pay out the rest and still have enough food. Oh, excuse me. Enough for food and charity and penance to the gods. Wealth, like a tree, grows from a tiny seed. The first copper you save is the seed from which your tree of wealth shall grow. The sooner you plant that seed, the sooner shall the tree grow, and more faithfully you nourish and water that tree. With consistent savings, the sooner may you bask in contentment beneath its shade. So saying, he took his tablets and went away. I thought much about what he said to me, and it seemed reasonable. So I decided that I would try it. Each time I was paid, I took one from each 10 pieces of copper and hid it away. And strange as it may seem, I was no shorter of funds than before. I noticed that I noticed little difference as I managed to get along without it. I noticed little difference as I managed to get along without it. But often I was tempted as my hoard began to grow to spend it for some of the good things the merchants displayed, brought by camels and ships from the land of the Phoenicians. But I wisely refrained. Refrained. A 12-month after Algamish had gone, he again returned and said to me, "Son, have you paid to yourself not less than 1/10 of all you have earned for the past year?" I answered proudly, "Yes, master, I have." "That is good," he answered, beaming upon me. "And what you have done with it?" "I have given it to Asmar the brickmaker, who told me he was traveling over the seven seas, and in Tyre he would buy for me the rare jewels of the Phoenicians. When he returns, we shall sell these at high prices and divide the earnings." Every fool must learn. This is what you gotta learn. Every fool must learn, he growled. But why trust the knowledge of a brickmaker about Jews? Would you go to the bread maker to inquire about the stars? No. By my tunic, you would go to the astrologer. You would go to the astrologer if you had power to think. Your savings are gone, youth. You have jerked your wealth tree up by the roots. But plant another, try again, and next time, if you would have advice about Jews, go to the Jew merchant. If you would know the truth about sheep, go to the herdsman. Advice is one thing that is freely given away, but watch that you take only what is worth having. He who takes advice about his savings from one who is inexperienced in such matters shall pay with his savings for proving the falsity of their opinions. Saying this, he went away. Alright, so that was a lot to unpack, but yeah, that was like my favorite part of the book. When I read that part, it really hit me because I felt like, oh, that was real smart. He said, I gave my money to the brickmaker to buy me some Jews. He said, why would you trust the brickmaker to buy you some Jews? Why don't you just go to the jeweler? Don't go buy a car from somebody that's used to selling hot dogs. Go buy a car from somebody that sell cars. Simple like that. It gotta make sense. Get your advice from somebody who actually did it or understand or studied. Don't get your advice from somebody that have no clue and they gonna lead you to no clue. There's gonna be the the blind following the blind. You ain't gonna know what's going on. So basically, pay attention. You know, that's it. Pay attention and keep 1/10 for all you earn. Don't spend everything. Try to keep some. You feel me? Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Damn, that's level up. Yeah. And that's one of my favorite books, The Richest Man in Babylon. Yeah.